Hey guys, welcome back to LeadFit. I'm half of LeadFit, Serene here. Chris is the other half. And today's video is all about why meal plans don't work. Now, I recently made a video on my main channel talking about this in brief, and this is going to be an extended version of why meal plans do not work. Coming from someone who truly believed in meal planning and had only worked with nutritionists on a meal plan, I am now convinced that meal plans do not work, and I'm going to explain all of that in this video. Before we get started, Chris and I created this channel, LeadFit, to talk about realistic and sustainable health and fitness. We are well into our 30s, and we definitely notice that our bodies change at 30. I also was very, very unhealthy and unfit for a few years, and it was a big struggle to get my weight down, to get my health better, and also to feel better again. So while we want to obviously look good, this channel is more about feeling good, eliminating some of the pain through exercise, and also focusing on health overall so that we can live our longest, healthiest, best life, hopefully pain-free or as minimal pain as possible. Why meal plans don't work? Okay, coming from my history where I have horrible emotional eating habits, horrible nutrition, I didn't even know what real whole foods were until I was maybe 26, 27, and that was because I had done my first work with a nutritionist, a holistic nutritionist. Now that I have a whole story about how that happened. It wasn't intentional. Basically, it was a 21-day detox on focusing on eliminating inflammatory and allergenic foods. Most importantly, what I took away from that journey was understanding what I was eating was not real food for most of my life, and also eliminating sugar cravings. I was highly addicted to sugar and carbohydrates, and I mean processed sugars and carbohydrates. So that was a great experience, and a lot of what got me through that was following the meal plans and the recipe guides. There was examples of what I should be eating every week, and I literally went to the store, bought everything I was supposed to, made everything to the T based on the recipes, and followed those plans. So I didn't know what my macros were, I didn't know what my calorie count was, and I didn't really know how to make food outside of what was given to me in those meal plans and those recipes. I stuck to this diet for over a year. Eventually, I started to slip, and while I did have those treat meals and those treat days here and there, it started to become more frequent because I was bored with what I had in terms of options of eating. And I reverted back to my old habits. I tried different meal plans multiple times, and this kept happening to me because the ingrained eating habits that I grew up with and lived most of my life eating, it was my baseline. And I didn't truly understand what macros were. I didn't really understand the calorie ins, calorie out situation fully. I didn't understand how to put food together that was nutritious, filling, and interesting because I had never been taught these skills. I had been taught how to follow meal plans. I saw success with them, and they do work for a limited amount of time. Many years later, I am now 35 and struggling. I asked for help from my nutritionist friend. She's certified, by the way. Was kind of turned off at first because she didn't believe in meal plans. And I was like, but I want a meal plan. Why can't you just give me a meal plan? What am I supposed to eat? What am I supposed to do? And she's like, well, I'm gonna guide you through that. I will give you an outline and kind of explain things to you, but I don't believe in meal plans because it doesn't actually teach you things. And this is something that I could not wrap my mind around until many months after my cut. And I was at a cafe for a meeting, and I looked at the menu, and everything was very heavy in bread, very heavy in carbohydrates, very heavy in sugar. And I was like, well, I don't want to eat any of that stuff because I didn't plan out my treat. I know what I want to eat this week as my treat, and this ain't it. I looked at the sides and I was like, you know what? I got it. Let's do a side salad, add a poached egg, and add some prosciutto. And it was beautiful, and it was delicious. It was filling. I didn't feel bad afterwards, and I knew that I still had my treat for when I wanted it. I don't want to go off of my diet if it's not something I actually truly want. That was when I realized the work I had done while working with Samantha not only helped me achieve my goals, but gave me life lifelong skills. And that is why meal plans don't work. If you give a hungry man a fish, he will eat for a day. If you teach the hungry man how to fish, he will never be hungry again. That old saying is so true when it comes to nutrition and meal plans. And that is why it's so important to understand your macros for your goals and your calories to maintain or to lose or to gain, whatever those goals are. Now, macros is something I didn't truly grasp either until working with Samantha, and I will make an entire video about that as well. But if you can't wait for my video, I will link Samantha's video in the description box where she talks about macros and what the heck macros are. Further to why meal plans don't work is because I see my friends and family go on these extreme diets, these extreme meal plans, and they look amazing in a short amount of time. But then I will see them 3 weeks after they're done with their challenge and they actually gain back all the weight they lost and more. In my mind, dieting and cutting or gaining is so bad for you because you just gain it all back. But in reality, dieting isn't about a short period of time. You can cut calories and focus on your macros to achieve a goal, but you must maintain that new physique and your new set point for an extended period of time before your body accepts that this is the new normal. You do these extreme meal plans, extreme diets, extreme weight loss, extreme gains, your body won't accept it if you immediately go back to your old habits. That's the biggest danger with meal plans and extreme dieting. It's also why I don't really believe in what we now come to know as diets. We've really turned diet into this short-term plan, and then afterwards I can go back to my old ways. That's never gonna work, and that was something I had to wrap my mind around. I had to retrain my brain to what proper nutrition is and to maintain it for the rest of my life. Now, this isn't to say I'm not gonna eat candy and popcorn and chips and sodas. It's to say that that is not my norm. It cannot be my norm because those are not nutritional foods to fuel my body. I have to break this emotional eating habit that I've been dealing with my entire life. So what I found that works for me and for Chris is to find a diet that you can maintain and sustain for the foreseeable future, and limit your pastries, your cookies, your sodas, your chips, whatever your vices, limit those to treat meals. And I do still have those, and it's okay. And if you're on vacation, live your best life. But if you understand nutrition and you understand what works for your body and you feel good, you'll not want to have the emotional binge eating and the treats as often. While I do have pasta and chips and popcorn as my treats here and there, I do feel different if I'm actually having something that's very sugary, made with refined sugar, because for the most part I don't eat those things even during my treats because there are sugar-free options. When I immediately eat something that's super sugary, I feel the coating in my throat. I don't feel so good, and then I get headaches, but I don't feel good immediately. I'm not telling you what to eat. I'm not telling you what type of diet you should be doing because all diets do work. The thing is the diet that you are choosing sustainable long term? Do you feel deprived on it? And I'm not saying within the first week. You really do need to give your body some time to detox from refined sugars, because honestly, most healthy diets don't have a lot of refined sugars in it. So whether you run on fat or you run on carbs, you should be running on natural carbs and not processed carbs. And same with fats. You want to have healthy fats. That is why meal plans don't work, because they don't truly teach you about your nutrition and what you need and how to make things and how to improvise on the go. I think that's something that's really important in sustaining a diet and sustaining healthy nutrition for yourself, is being able to improvise on the go. If you're on a road trip, what are you gonna eat when working on your nutrition and your health? What is a sustainable diet, and how are you gonna learn to be sustainable on it and consistent? I recently posted on my personal Instagram account about my emotional eating habits and how I've been dealing with it for so long, and it wasn't up until recently where I feel like I really truly got a handle on it, because I was going through another bout of pretty bad depression, and my normal tendencies when dealing with depression is to binge eat and emotionally eat and throw all caution out the door. I didn't this time. I stuck to my workout schedule. I stuck to eating nutritious foods. I didn't binge eat. I didn't emotionally eat. I might have had a couple extra treats here and there, but it was not out of control like it was in the past. And I did not emotionally spend like I used to, even though I was having a really rough month. I came out of it, and now that I'm out of that depression and I'm reflecting on what happened, I realized that I finally got a handle on my emotional binge eating, and a lot of it had to do with that I had the skills and the tools to improvise and make better choices thanks to working with Samantha Souza. But I wanted to make this video because so many of you guys reached out to me after I talked about my emotional binge eating, and so often I feel weird talking about that stuff because nutrition and diet is such a touchy topic. While I did not purge my binge eating, I didn't feel like I had a true problem to share. And I don't think that I don't have a problem or didn't have a problem, because I did. Clearly I did, but I didn't think it was enough of a problem to share. But I also think so many of us are dealing with this on a silent level that maybe it is time to talk about it and share and let others know that you're not alone. Emotional eating is such a problem. We can get a handle on it, but we have to start talking about it and talking about how to approach it, because the nutrition that we're taught growing up here in the US is just so messed up, and the information given to us is so confusing, and it fights each other, and people are so passionate one way or the other, and they get very triggered by talking about this. I was afraid to talk about it, but I think it's important for me to talk about it so that if you can relate, or if that you've been struggling yourself, you know that you're not alone. There are options out there and that you can overcome it. I did have a messed up mindset with food and dieting. That's why we wanted to create this channel, to have a place for you to feel like you could come to. We want to make videos that can help you, that can motivate and inspire you, that's realistic, that's sustainable, that's coming from a place of a little bit more life, a little bit more knowledge after going through a lot on our own, and also coming from a place where I was unfit, where I was very unhealthy, where my doctors were worried. Inside, things were not okay. That is something that I truly want to emphasize, is that what's going on inside, the pain I was dealing with, the inflammation, the blood work tests that were not so good, and just not feeling strong, feeling weak, feeling achy, feeling pain, and starting to notice things falling apart, and even having doctors tell me that, you know, something's got to change because it's just gonna get worse if it doesn't, and overcoming that. And that's where we're coming from. And thank you so much for watching this video. Check out some of our workout videos, check out some of our other videos. This channel really has changed in the last few months because we really wanted to have purpose, and this is our purpose as we try and live our best and healthiest life. We want to spread that and help you as well and motivate you. We have a free Facebook community that you can join if you want, in the link below or in the description box below, to hopefully have you guys meet each other and also motivate each other and share your struggles. I think it's important to share your struggles as well as your wins. If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Share it with friends and family who you feel might benefit from this channel. And don't forget to check back in our next video, where I will be sharing with you how to make sugar-free at-home gummy bears. Until next time, I'll see you guys right back here. Bye!